Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we tell you to be kind to animals, but fuck that owl. It's Lost in the Midcard. Welcome to the, I guess we would say the post-Backlash era. See what happened on Smackdown after the Maharaja became WWE champion. We'll see what happens on the second to last Raw before Extreme Rules catches up to us as we're in this insane run of WWE pay-per-views every other week. We'll cover a few headlines, including more about that owl. But thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Make sure that you do a search for Lost in the Midcard and hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also find us on the YouTube. And the links to all that are on our Facebook page. Go to the notes section of facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. We're also on the Twitter. Lots of great tweets are shared throughout the pro wrestling world, and Matt does a good job of sharing those with the masses at LITMC Podcast, so make sure to follow us there. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers, and as always, my co-host is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, it's another couple 100 hours of wrestling under our belt, it feels like, since the last time we spoke.
Hey, there's only a pay-per-view in like 8 days, and then like another one 14 days later. And then Great Balls of Fire! Shit, is Great Balls of Fire July... that's not July 4th, is it?
I honestly don't have the slightest clue.
Well, July 4th is a Tuesday.
So, no, it's not.
I think it's the 9th. It's either the 9th or the 16th. I don't know. So we get
I'll honestly tell you I don't have a clue.
Well, neither does Vince if he's calling a pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire. Well, the story that just won't die. Fuck that owl.
Seems like it's getting worse.
Ed Nordholm was a guest on The Law, which is live audio wrestling to discuss...
Which he owns.
Oh, does he? What a coincidence.
Yes, the Fight Network owns it.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, like, talk about shilling out your own agenda.
Yeah, no kidding. He's interviewed by John Pollock, and they talk about Ring of Honor a little bit, but mostly the Hardys and WWE. Ed Nordholm states it's unquestionable that the ownership of the characters in the storyline resides in Impact Wrestling. I don't think the Hardys would dispute that. They've all signed contracts. Their contracts are standard contracts, not only in the wrestling industry, but in the entertainment industry. Generally, the producer of the show owns the content. It doesn't really matter who in creative team came up with the idea. I don't know. Think he's right there? I doubt it, but I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
He's full of shit.
Good. He was asked, are you open to speaking and sitting down with the Hardys? Oh, of course. I was open to speaking before, and I'm open now. We've offered many times to find an arrangement with the Hardys that would allow them to continue to use the gimmick within reasonable parameters as to what is important to us and what would be important to them. Understand that with the dynamic of their move to the WWE and the drama which they created that launch, I understand their plan is to create maximum heat in the period when they announced to us that they weren't going to sign the contracts. So then he was asked, so they're not actively pursuing it from you? And Ed says, oh God, no. We've been in communication since all of this chatter about how we're keeping it from them. I'm taking heat because I'm keeping something from you. If you want it, why don't you call me? And their answer's always been, no, not interested. Hey, how about that, Matt?
Why would the WWE pay TNA for something they don't technically own?
Exactly.
You know, and the fact that TNA went to WWE to try to get a freaking money deal off of them. What did you think WWE was going to say? Oh, yeah, let's do business with you, TNA. Fuck no.
And then
WWE knows the Hardys have this shit handled in court.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be like, no, go, we're not interested. AK, we're not interested in making a deal with you.
Go fuck yourself and go fuck that L.
When the Hardys get their shit together and get this stuff from you in court, we'll be happily to use the gimmick here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be patient. We'll leave the light on for you. And then apparently Impact Wrestling released communications over the gimmick, including the contract excerpt and an exchange with the WWE via email. What do you think about that crap there, Matt?
I feel like them showing those emails and showing the Hardys contract, it has to be some kind of confidentiality breach.
Yeah, I think...
I feel like they've further just hurt their court case.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are some of the... I can't even put into words how stupid these people are. I really, really can't.
And a new wrinkle into this whole thing, Rebby Hardy took to Twitter. Because she's been silent. She's been silent the whole time. She's been silent the whole time, right? A series of tweets from just yesterday. Inaccurate. Our attorney bills say otherwise, and can act as a cute little log too. What are they trying to prove, and to whom? That was Rebby retweeting the PW Insider report. Then she says, you all are a joke. In that aspect alone, you already lost, but we can and will make that L official, my dude, at Ed Norholm. And a nice new hashtag. And maybe she's used it before, but I like the hashtag #NoCredEd.
Yeah, somebody gave that to her about a week ago.
Yeah.
And she's been using it ever since. So,
long story short, TNA tried a literal sales pitch on the WWE regarding the broken gimmick, which isn't legally theirs, and they said, "LOL, yeah, no thanks." Anthem mad because WWE didn't fall for their offensive money grab. That type of business is right on par with Jeff Jarrett. Gold scam. I just think it's cute that TNA feels the need to prove themselves to randoms on the internet. Know why we don't bother? Because it's all coming out in court, honey. Honey! From the attorneys we hired back in March. What are those logs? Oh, and you might actually want to try spamming dirt sheets with actual final version of that contract if you're going to break confidentiality. Hello! But yeah, that's cool. Something else we'll add to the list of offenses. Thanks. Should we release the phone calls? I kind of want to release the phone calls now since we're playing petty, apparently. Ooh, I want to see the phone calls, Matt.
I want to hear the phone calls too. I'm not even gonna lie, but they're smart. Unlike Impact, they're smart enough not to release the phone calls.
I mean, that's a royally just a dumbass move. This whole thing has literally been a series of dumbass moves by Anthem and Impact. So, what's the difference?
They are really showing to the entire world why they don't deserve anybody's support.
Matt Hardy also took to Twitter and just one tweet, unlike Rebby, just one tweet. I tell the truth and I don't need to desperately overcompensate to prove my public credibility. My facts will be shared via the correct venue. Man, Impact is fucked. I mean, that's all you got to say about that.
Yeah, Matt Hardy's name on Twitter right now is #DTO.
DTO.
Which, I don't know this for 100% fact, but to me, I think that means death to Al. And that's just me guessing. I do not know that for 100% fact, but that's what it seems like to me.
I was gonna say, don't trust Owl.
And Taz brought up earlier today on the Taz show, basically about how the ethics of the company should be called into question now. And if you're a talent and you see them doing this to another talent, why do you gonna have any desire to go and work for them? Matt responded to a fan on Twitter today who said, "I promise you all, Matt Hardy isn't lying. WWE wouldn't be letting the broken tees on TV if there was no interest.
Yeah.
Nordholm lying as usual." To which Matt responded, "You know the deal. They've already released their quote-unquote Hail Mary, and we still have all of our aces in our pocket." And Matt actually commented on what Taz said earlier today and said, 100% correct. I wasn't going to post the drunken, mean, vulgar text sent to talents by TNA management. Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, we said this on the show many a times, and I'll say it again. How in the world could anybody be worse than Dixie? And we're finding out right now. And on top of that, the product is not really that exciting. You know, it was good the first week, and it's been very meh ever since. Meh might be too nice for some of the weeks. But let's shift gears from that. Let's head to the best of the Super Juniors. Some unfortunate news for Hiroshi Tanahashi, as he is going to be out of the Super Juniors tournament with a ruptured right biceps tendon. He suffered at the War of the Worlds Tour finale in Philly. They do announce that he will be back for the Dominion show on June 9th, though. So Satoshi Kojima will be replacing Tanahashi in the for the rest of the current tour. Matt, have you checked this out from Pro Wrestling Tees, the limited edition Macho Man Converse shoes?
I've seen their Converse shoes gimmick. I have no interest. I'm not a big Converse shoe fan to begin with. And, you know...
they're cool, but they're not... they're cool, but they're not $175 cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're like... I think they're insanely overpriced. But, I mean, I'm not a shoe-obsessed person. You know, as long as the sneakers on my feet are comfortable, you know, I'm kind of good to go. I really don't care what their price point is. But, you know, some people, you know, want to buy, you know, dozens and dozens of pairs of shoes and look at these things like a collector's item. So in that case, hey, you want to get them, more power to you. But, nah, not for me.
And Evolve is going to be debuting in Chicago and Michigan. Actually, they already did debut. So for the first time, they had some shows in Michigan and Illinois, headlined by champion Matt Riddle, WWN champion Matt Riddle. He took on Kyle O'Reilly, Zack Sabre Jr., Donovan Dijak, Keith Lee, Leo Rush, all on the card as well. I see Jason Kincaid also. He was in Ring of Honor for a time. I didn't realize he wasn't there anymore. Or I don't know. Do some people bounce back and forth from Evolve and Ring of Honor too, or no?
Not really. Not anymore. I would say a couple years ago, yes, but not really now.
Probably because it's a feeder to the WWE now?
Well, and like Sinclair has definitely changed the way Ring of Honor handles their contracts as well.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff it's just changed over time.
Great news for New Japan fans. It was just announced that Access TV is going to do a live broadcast of New Japan's first ever United States event, the G1 Special in the USA. That'll be Saturday, July 1st at 8 Eastern. So if you have Access TV and love yourself some New Japan, you're going to get treated to the first ever live special, first ever event in the United States. Matt, pretty cool stuff there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, anything that they can do to further, you know, bring the United States eye on their product, the better. And I think a live show from LA, I think that's a pretty damn good start.
Yeah, I wish I had access. I had access the short time I had Sling TV, but after the move, I just transferred my cable over, and unfortunately, cable doesn't have access. So
yeah, I have access, and I will very much be looking forward to watching this special when it airs later on in the summer.
Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks join Kenny Omega, Okada, Tanahashi, and Naito for the G1 special. So make sure to check that out. And most likely we'll have to give you our thoughts on that show once that occurs there in July. Couple of new T-shirts in the WWE shop for NXT. A new Bobby Roode shirt, and Aleister Black also has one in there as well. Ratings this week. Hey, that owl dropped back below 300,000. Fuck that owl. 272,000, down from 309,000 last week. Yeah, I read the results. I didn't care.
It's every week. Every week Vince gets the ratings now. He looks at him and goes, well, at least we're not TNA, pal.
Yeah, they're 10 times TNA at least, even though Raw had the worst week of the year, 2.6 million. It's still 10 times better than TNA. Very paltry 2.425 third hour as well. SmackDown, though, rebounded. So maybe some people wanted to see Jinder as champion and see how it all played out. They rebounded from that disastrous 2.175 rating last week, and this week hit 2.328. So
I think the main event had a lot to do with that.
A little bit, maybe. The second week of MTV's The Challenge dropped a little bit, but still stayed steady, 535,000 or double of Impact. I like how when we look at the ratings now, we're just combining a multiple of Impact. Yeah, the show on MTV, double of Impact. This week on the WWE Network, a New Day special debuted called New Day's Fantastic Ride on the on-demand section. I haven't got a chance to see it yet. Matt, have you?
I was just going to say, I haven't seen it yet, have you? But
nope.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have not seen it either. Maybe I'll check it out tonight or some point in the week.
There's our homework.
Hopefully it's not that long.
There's our homework for this week. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it being more than 45 minutes or an hour, if that even.
I'll check it out. I love the New Day. So
last weekend, The Rock joined the 5-Time Club, which is hosting SNL 5 times. Justin Timberlake is among them. It's basically a big kind of a to-do thing. Steve Martin, just to name a few. And The Rock joined that club, and it became the biggest SNL finale in 6 years with 8.27 million fans tuning in. So pretty nice numbers there for SNL with The Rock. Current update on the Best of Super Junior tournament for New Japan after Day 6, which was yesterday. Block A, Marty Scurll defeated Taka Michinoku. Scurll currently has 6 points. Michinoku has 2. Will Ospreay defeated Jushin Thunder Liger. And Ospreay also has 6 points, while Liger has none, so Liger is eliminated. Takahashi defeated Taichi. They each have 4 points. Dragon Lee defeated Ricochet. Dragon Lee has 6 points, and Ricochet only has 2. Once we get some more updates there next week, we'll update you with the current standings there. We now have a name for the women's tournament. We also have a time and a place. Full Sail University, July 13th and 14th, the Mae Young Classic. Named after, of course, the iconic original women's wrestler, Johnny Mae Young, who spent 7 decades in the business and even went through tables thanks to them damn Dudleys. Matt, I think it's a great, just like the Dusty Classic. I think it's a great way to honor one of the great women in wrestling, Matt.
I'll be the unpopular opinion here. I don't like the name at all. I think it takes focus away from the talent that are supposed to be involved in this. This isn't like a random NXT tournament that they do every year for Dusty, when Dusty was such an integral part of the NXT brand and tag team wrestling that he helped book over the years. I understood that. I don't like a standalone tournament on the WWE Network being named after a former talent. I don't like it. I'm not digging it. I'm sure I'll still like the tournament itself. And I know I saw a lot of people that liked the name online. I'm not one of them. So come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Yeah, I see your point there. Tickets for the July 13th and 14th show go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. go to nxttickets.com if you would like to be in attendance for those shows.
And look, and it might just be me, but WWE's been a little cocky here. You got a 32-woman tournament. You're putting the tickets on sale this Friday, and as of this Wednesday night at almost 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they haven't announced one person in this tournament yet.
Mm-hmm.
So unless WWE is going to announce the 32 women tomorrow,
yeah.
Why the hell am I buying my ticket?
Yeah.
Like, I want to know who's involved in this tournament before I'm putting my money down to go see this thing.
Unless you're...
that's coming from me. Dude, you know how big of a fan of women's wrestling that I am. Yeah. You know, I was a fan of women's wrestling when women's wrestling wasn't cool to be a fan of. I'm a big women's wrestling fan. And even me, I kind of want to know who I'm paying to go see.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm not even asking you to tell me who's facing who. Just tell me who's in the damn tournament.
Yeah.
And I
wonder how much...
On Friday, we should know by then who's in the tournament.
Do you know if they charged more for the Cruiserweight Classic or the same as they do for NXT tapings?
That's a great question. I'm honestly not sure. I'm sure we can load up NXTtickets.com now and see the pre-sale prices.
Well, I got it up now. I got it up now, but I don't see the Mae Young Classic at all. It goes from July 8th to then skips to the 21st. So, but a typical NXT taping show, like a taping,
it's being done at Full Sail, right?
Yeah. Those tapings are typically $15 for the upfront seats, and then the general admission kind of off into the back are $10. That's for a normal NXT television taping. So, I don't know if they charged more for like the Cruiserweight Classic or not. So. Were you able to
I just feel like if you're putting these tickets on, that they should at least have the common courtesy to tell you what you're paying to go see.
Good point.
And I don't think I'm being too picky about that.
No, you're not. But at the same time, I mean, you expect it to be a great tournament, right? You know.
See the first ever Mae Young Classic women's tournament on Thursday, July 13th, and Friday, 14th at Full Sail Live in Winter Park, Florida. The Mae Young Classic will feature 32 of the top female competitors from around the world participating in a single elimination tournament. A number of VIP front row seats are available in Section 102. Price of admission includes an autographed commemorative chair to take home.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be $15.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm going to click on buy tickets now and see if they actually list what the...
Congratulations! You've just purchased a ticket for Orlando.
Well, that would be kind of hard to do since I don't have my credit card information. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a description and everything, and the tickets are labeled as available soon. But they definitely don't have the prices list. I am going to be super curious to find out what these prices are, because I will come here Friday morning, to take a look and see, how much they're charging for this sucker.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking home a chair and such, that's definitely not going to be $15. I'm just gonna guess out there.
Congratulations! You're buying an autographed chair from a bunch of people who you don't know who's going to be signing it. Aren't you excited?
Yeah. So.
To me, it's just WWE needs to do a little bit of communication with the fans. Because let's get real. This tournament is kicking off in about a month and a half. You can't tell me that they don't already have their 32 women locked down. They already know who's going to be in it. So just announce it on Thursday, or at least Friday morning when the tickets go on sale. Give people a reason to be excited and a reason to want to buy these tickets and see it locally, or hell, even if you like the lineup of women enough to travel down to Full Sail University to go see the show live.
Yeah. I'm going to guess that they announce it on Thursday.
I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right. Because I want to see this successful.
That's just common sense, and typically Triple H does have common sense when it comes to things.
True.
So I bet it comes tomorrow, or Thursday today if you're listening to the show, and then that hypes you up to get online in the morning on Friday. NXT this week was shows prior to NXT TakeOver this past Saturday. First match we had Aleister Black against Kurt Hawkins, so we got to see Aleister Black in front of a rather large crowd. Nice ovation for him. Him and of course the veteran Kurt Hawkins. They met a couple weeks ago on Main Event, and some impressive moves as always by Aleister Black. He had about a 5-6 minute match before the Black Mass kick just knocked the holy shit out of Kurt Hawkins, and Black got the win.
I still want to know why Kurt Hawkins is in NXT. Can someone explain that to me?
Yeah, my guess is this is based on nothing but just pure speculation, but I think it's just the fact that they've already fought at Main Event, and they just wanted a sort of a familiar opponent for Black at TakeOver instead of just feeding him a jobber that he'll beat in like a minute. So they probably wanted to get a 5-6 minute match out of somebody. So they're like, hey, he fought Kurt Hawkins on Main Event. Let's put him in there. That's just my speculation on it. As is such with most of these type of NXT episodes, they look back at TakeOver. They showed the aftermath after Ciampa attacked Gargano. They followed up with that the doctors will not release the medical information on Gargano. They also did a thing with Ember Moon being bummed out about not being able to compete in Chicago. They took a look at that women's title match also. Asuka interviewed after the match, saying that nobody can stand toe-to-toe with her. It's mine. They also showed Roderick Strong defeating Eric Young from TakeOver, and his interview after the match where he says that overcoming the odds is something he's done his whole life. You can do whatever you want, but once you bring my family into it, nothing will stop me. This is just the next step towards the NXT Championship. Next up, the debut of the Velveteen Dream. He took on a jobber dude named Robert Anthony. Is this actually Patrick Clark's first match? I want to say he's wrestled with this gimmick before. Obviously, are they just saying
not as the Velveteen Dream?
They're just saying
he's been Patrick Clark. Yeah. You got to keep in mind the way NXT works is they'll have talent on there scarcely once every 2 months or whatever, until they're ready to officially debut them. Mm-hmm. Like Patrick Clark has been on there. Daria was on there now, who is now officially Sonya Deville, who they're using as a regular character on there now. Mandy Rose has been on NXT before, but will officially debut when they're ready to have her as a regular character. That's just the way Triple H does things. Patrick Clark has wrestled on NXT before, but the quote-unquote Velveteen Dream has not. And that's what you have to keep in mind. The Velveteen Dream is an official character now. It is officially a part of the main, NXT roster.
What did you think of the Velveteen Dream?
I thought it was what it was. It was really nothing to say. It's just Patrick Clark being flamboyant and over the top. Yeah, Prince-ish.
Doing a Prince gimmick.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the dude's ultra talented. And, if this is the gimmick that he has to do to get noticed, so be it.
Yeah. Is it me? Has he always been that jacked?
He's always been that jacked.
I can't remember. Hitting a very high elbow drop from the top for the 3 count in a very quick match. They took a look at the UK title match and also the NXT Championship match. They showed an interview with Bobby Roode, and they go to commercial. Let us know that next week there will be a glorious celebration next week on NXT. Oh, gee, would a certain Drew McIntyre interrupt that celebration, you think?
I don't know who they're going to have interrupted, because you got to keep in mind, if it's going to be Drew and Rude in Brooklyn, it's a little too soon to be bringing Drew out in May.
Yeah.
So they might have like a go-between before Drew in Brooklyn. Like, I don't know who.
Could be Roddy.
But could be Roddy. I mean, they could go straight to Drew and do Roddy in Brooklyn. I mean, you never know what their plan is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like about NXT. Like I said on the post-game show, the main event talent level of the NXT roster right now is incredible. There's plenty of challenges for Bobby Roode's title right now, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think Mike Bennett goes to NXT, or do you think he goes to Raw or SmackDown?
I keep hearing they're going straight to the main roster. So, I'm not necessarily in agreement with that. But I guess being the wife of somebody who's been in being the husband of the wife who's been with the company before, I guess might grant him a special privilege.
Yeah, and at least he had a year in Impact where they have a little bit bigger of a casual fan base, you know, so at least he had that in between Ring of Honor and WWE, but...
Hey, I hate to jump back to that dumbass Ed Nordholm, but did you
see what
Eric Bischoff? Did you see what Bischoff had to say about him?
No.
Listen to this. Ed's playing all new levels of small ball. It's just very amateur and desperate to me. He's just playing small ball. It doesn't make any sense to me. They are confidentiality agreements that go both ways in a contract. When you start making moves like that and posturing, with 250,000 viewers nationwide, maybe he feels the need to hold on to 3 or 4 of them that may or may not watch the show because of this. That's what it feels like to me. The audience they have is so small that he's desperately trying to hold on to half a dozen viewers because he is leaking out info that makes them believe him. That's how small ball this feels to me. It doesn't make any sense. You start divulging portions of contracts to defend yourself in a peripheral wrestling media, and you are basically hanging a big sign around your neck that says small ball, and on the other side it says Mark.
Oh, and Eric Bischoff is kind of successful in the business world, right?
As far as I know, he's still in some sort of lawsuit with that company.
Really?
You know, over missing money from his time with the company or something like that.
Oh boy.
So,
but I mean, Bischoff owns his own entertainment company. I mean, the guy is a businessman, so he knows the business. And I'm not just talking about pro wrestling. So he would know. And wow.
It's just so fucking funny. You know, look, even if we go a whole week without not having any WWE related news, these idiots at Impact make all the news to talk about for us each and every week.
Yeah.
Like, we can't go 1 week without a new news story coming out about how stupid these people are.
It's glorious. I mean, it's just, it's amateur hour over there, man. It's the good thing.
It's really unbelievable. And I know, like, we said 6 months ago when Dixie was out, well, it can't get any worse. You know, Jarrett's coming in and maybe things are going to get better. And we were just proving that Dixie Carter wasn't nearly as bad as we thought she was, because things have gotten much, much worse.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's fucking amateur hour over there. Shit writes itself. A main event.
Dude, I don't even know if you can write shit this bad.
Main event from the Takeover pre-show edition of NXT. Drew McIntyre took on Wesley Blake in a fairly lengthy match.
In a "you're still employed here" match.
That too. They were going with a beautiful Wesley Blake gimmick for a while now. That didn't pan out apparently.
Well, dude, to me, is poor as their tag team division is right now.
Blake and Murphy, please.
I'm just putting Blake and Murphy back together.
Yeah. Well, they tried this beautiful Wesley Blake thing. I think it was only at house shows.
I'm almost positive it was at the house show I was at.
Yeah,
when they were in Maryland last year.
Now they're kind of just going back to basics and turning him into a Texas guy. But I mean, that's as basic as it can get. But at the same time, sometimes you got to go back to basics to try to find something that works.
But like I said, going back to basics would be best for both of these guys. And by going back to basics, I mean just reform your tag team, because the singles talent in NXT right now is so top heavy. These guys are not going to be able to survive in NXT right now.
No,
honestly, they would be so much better. Yeah, it's only going to get worse with the ROH talent about to flux in over the next few months. So if I'm Blake and I'm Murphy, I'm begging Triple H and company, please put us back together. Please put us back together as a tag team, because if not, they might be on the outside looking in. Come year's end, like they might be future endeavor, just because there's just nothing there for these guys right now.
Yeah, like you just said, it's only gonna get worse. I mean, you said Dijak, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, maybe Mike Bennett, Leo Rush.
Yeah, there's a huge influx of Ring of Honor talent about to come in. I just think they would be much better off choosing to freaking, reform the tag team and getting in that very shallow division right now.
I mean, outside of Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli and Heavy Machinery, who else?
Well, you can count Sanity as a tag team.
Yeah.
And I have trouble counting the other team you named, the Sabatelli team, because they've only been on TV once.
Yeah.
They've been on TV as far as I can recall. As a team.
Yeah, they've been on TV a couple times at least.
Well, they could also
sparingly.
That's what I'm saying. They could also be just as simple as the Patrick Clark appearances.
Yeah.
Like we don't know if they're a part of the roster full time. The only people we know for sure that are full time part of the NXT tag team division right now are the Authors of Pain, Heavy Machinery, and Sanity, and that's it. And to me, Heavy Machinery, they're kind of cool, but they are far from proven to be able to step up and challenge the Authors of Pain at this point. You also have TM61, but who knows when that injury is going to be dealt with. I don't know how much longer that one guy's going to be out. So NXT could really use TM61 right now, but injuries happen and injuries suck.
Yep, that's why I said I'd like to see Noe Jose and Rich Swann get back together. They teamed at the Dusty Classic. Blake and Murphy is almost too obvious. I mean, they haven't done jack and shit solo. They feuded with each other, and that really didn't go anywhere. So
yeah, I just feel like they're better off together than apart. I really do.
Monday Night Raw this week takes place Grand Rapids, Michigan, and the show starts off with Bray Wyatt in the ring, calling out the Beast. Also prodding Roman Reigns, which then led Roman Reigns to come out. And Kurt Angle came out and said that he's going to set up Reigns against Wyatt right now. And got a referee out, so we started off with Reigns and Wyatt, but that didn't go too far as Samoa Joe came out, put the Coquina Clutch on Reigns, and then he put it on Wyatt as well. I thought Wyatt's face was hilarious when the Coquina Clutch was put on. Seth Rollins comes out just because, he hates Joe. And the former Shield members, Reigns and Rollins, clear the ring, setting up, obviously, a tag match later player. And Elias Sampson, after Angle set up the tag match for later, Elias Sampson shows up with his guitar. Angle says, "You've been trying to get my attention, and now you got it." you're going to get your first match ever against Dean Ambrose. Akira Tozawa took on Arya Davari. Got the old 3-minute Divas treatment here. Basically just a warm-up for Tozawa ahead of his street fight with Brian Kendrick on 205 Live. Elias Sampson in the ring playing his guitar, the crowd booing. He sings himself a little song, a little goodbye to the lunatic. And then Ambrose comes out and makes his entrance. Miz and Maurice are on commentary. And to no surprise, Miz causes a DQ loss. He actually attacked Sampson, so Dean Ambrose would get the loss. The match went about 9 minutes. What did you think of Sampson's Raw debut, Matt?
I thought the match was fine for what it was. They protected him with the result, and that's pretty much all I can say about that.
Yeah, I thought he showed up well. Baffled that he got called up. Kind of like Apollo Crews, never really had a storyline in NXT.
Yeah, but at least he has a gimmick.
He has a gimmick.
I mean, Apollo Crews still doesn't have a damn gimmick.
Well, he's got a gimmick now. He's part of the Titus brand.
Oh, you stop. I'd rather have no gimmick than be a part of the Titus brand.
Big Cass is walking backstage with the referee. They walk over and see Enzo Amore laid out. Someone beat the holy hell out of him.
Top guys.
And, later on in the evening, Charlie Caruso doing an interview. I think it was the Alexa Bliss interview. And a couple of guys were leaving a room looking like they were up to some business. Weren't they, Matt?
I don't know if it was the Alexa Bliss interview or if it was the Sasha.
I think Sasha was before.
Interview with Fox.
Sasha was... Oh, you think they were
because they were leaving from the beatdown on Enzo.
Oh, okay.
So they beat down Enzo and then they left the building.
Okay, so that was Alexa then, because the Sasha interview was before the Samson match. But pretty cool, huh? Nice little sneaky little trick there that they kind of did, and some astute Twitter followers noticed it. I thought it was pretty cool what they did there with the top guys. So I think it was about 2 weeks ago that Dawson said that Dash was about 4 weeks away. So I'm wondering if this is the beginning of a string of beatdowns in the tag division on Raw, Matt. Do you think that's maybe the case?
I don't know about that. I think it's just going to be, I think they pegged Enzo and Cass as their first feud coming back.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if they're going to take out the division, but yes, they could just be starting a feud with them guys. Did you think, oh no, here comes the heel turn for Cass already?
No, I didn't even cross my mind.
It crossed mine, unfortunately. I'm like, oh god, already? Finn Balor makes his entrance as he takes on former Bullet Club brethren Carl Anderson, but before that, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman makes his return to Monday Night Raw. What did you think of the little exchange between Heyman and Balor, Matt?
I thought it was a good way to put Balor over.
Yeah.
That's the power of Paul Heyman, my friend.
That he definitely did. Balor shook his hand. Maybe we got a new Paul Heyman guy. I thought it was a pretty cool exchange.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty cool exchange, though, between Heyman and Balor for sure. The club then comes out, and we get a match between two guys that know each other very well, Finn Balor, Carl Anderson. Match went about 7 minutes with Balor getting the win with a coup de grace. Just really interesting that they put those guys in a match.
Meh. It is what it is.
Yeah. Sasha Banks and Alicia Fox, hopefully for the last time. That went about 2 minutes.
Sure as hell didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I know. This was the rubber match that went 2 minutes.
I feel like you're going to see it. I feel like you're going to see it on the Extreme Rules pregame show.
Yeah. Yeah. After the match, Fox goes nuts, hits a scissors kick on Sasha, and gives a little smooch. to Noam Dar. Kalisto is talking with Apollo Crews backstage. He's telling Crews, known you for a long time, and all you're doing is fighting Titus O'Neil's battles. And Crews says that O'Neil has connections. What kind of connections does he have, Matt?
None.
I don't know. Goldust cutting an old school kind of promo. I kind of dug it. Not really looking forward to a feud where the combined age is about 100, but I kind of dug the old school Goldust heel promo. Next up is Apollo Crews against Kalisto. That went all of 3 minutes. Salida del Sol after Titus O'Neil was yelling at Crews to get on him, and Crews then that distracted him. He's looking at Titus and fell right into the Salida del Sol. And then we get Matt Hardy against Sheamus. I thought this was a pretty good match. No surprise, probably my favorite feud in the WWE right now with these two tag teams. The winner got to pick the stipulation at Extreme Rules. In the end of the match, Sheamus set up for the bro kick. Matt gets out of the way. Cesaro tried to interfere. Jeff hits a running clothesline. And then Matt, with a twist of fate, after 12 minutes, gets the win. Matt and Jeff head up to the ramp, and they announce that they are picking the stipulation of a steel cage match at Extreme Rules. I was kind of hoping for tables, ladders, and chairs, Matt, but that's got its own pay-per-view now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, logic would dictate they're the masters of that match. Why wouldn't they just choose that, right?
Because I feel like the Hardys are tired of doing ladder matches in their old age.
Yeah, they only did 2 in 2 nights about...
Yeah, if I'm the Hardys, I'm done doing ladder matches for a bit. I'm kind of like, I'm good.
They're like, oh, Money in the Bank's on SmackDown. All right, I like that. The Money in the Bank's on SmackDown. I'll enjoy watching it.
Oh.
Austin Aries took on Tony Nese.
I still think Corbin's winning that.
Yeah. I still have a gut feeling on that, too. Austin Aries takes on Tony Nese. Quick little 5-minute match. Last Chancery. Obviously, the Last Chancery's been highlighted more than the 5-arm lately because him and Neville are going to have a submission match at Extreme Rules.
Dun dun dun!
The Rings of Saturn versus the Last Chancery.
Versus blah 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 blah.
Aries, man, he has some cool counters and setups for that Last Chancery. This week he did the guillotine choke and went right into that Last Chancery. That was pretty damn sweet. But it's Austin Aries, he's great. So
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna be really annoyed if he doesn't win that damn title at Extreme Rules. I feel like they've teased it long enough. It's time for the payoff.
No shit.
You're trying to get more people to watch your show, and they claim that they're having problems with, getting an audience. Why would it hurt at this point to put the title on a popular babyface and run the thing around him?
Well, not only that, it's the most recognizable guy on the roster.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't think 205 Live needs more stars at it. It'd be kind of cool maybe to see some more familiar names added. But I mean, it's a good roster. The shows are good. It's just you hit it on the head. It needs to be at Full Sail.
I really think it would give an entire new feel, and I think people would care about it more. Like even if it's taped, I still feel that the overall presentation and what Triple H would do with it down there is comparable to how it's ran by Vince. It would be a night and day difference on the product.
Well, it doesn't bother you that NXT's taped, so.
No, it doesn't bother me at all that NXT's taped.
Would you ever want that to go live? Say they flip-flop with 205 Live. Would you ever want that to happen?
No, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because at that point, what's the difference on coming up to the main roster at that point?
Yeah, good point.
If you're traveling Tuesday nights with the blue brand already,
Yeah.
How are you not already considered to be on the main roster at that point?
Yeah.
If you're having NXT airing live right after SmackDown, to me, you're already on the main roster. You're not learning anymore. You're in front of the main TV's audience, and I don't think that's a good idea.
Are you ever? Is there ever going to be a logistical possibility of it ever being live every Wednesday from Full Sail, or at least once a month?
I definitely. I mean, Triple H just talked about that. It's all logistics and money thing. I mean, I definitely think it could happen in the future. Like, I don't think it's going to happen like this year, but maybe next year it could totally, as things progress, that could totally happen. So,
what seemed to be the theme of Monday Night Raw? Another short match. Alexa Bliss, Mickie James went 3 minutes. Bliss hit the DDT and then busted out the kendo stick before Bayley made the save. I'm sorry, I'm just not interested in this. I think it's probably because it's on a pole match, maybe. I don't know. Just not interested in it. But there are rumblings that we may have a women's Money in the Bank match, though. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, I've heard the rumblings as well. I'm just not sure how accurate they are.
Main event on Monday Night Raw. Teddy Long came out and made a tag match play. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns against Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe. I thought Raw was pretty piss poor for the most part all week, but I did enjoy Hardy and Sheamus, and I did enjoy the main event. How about you, Matt?
I didn't think Raw was nearly as bad as you thought it was. I thought Raw was fine. Like I didn't love Raw, but I didn't hate it either. I also benefited from watching the hours 2 and 3 via DVR, so I was able to skip through all the commercials, so that probably helped. It just wasn't to me. It wasn't a terrible show, but it wasn't great either. I felt Raw was kind of just there on Monday. It was what it was. I enjoyed SmackDown a lot more.
Oh, I love SmackDown. Hopefully Raw ramps it up for the go home show for Extreme Rules next week. I think Meltzer said that he expects either Balor or Rollins to win, but Lesnar is going to feud with Joe and Wyatt sometime this year to round out the year. So it looks like if Joe doesn't win here, at least it sounds like we're going to get a program with Lesnar and Joe sometime this year. My guess would be Survivor Series, because it sounds like it's going to be Lesnar and Strowman at SummerSlam.
Honestly, I'm sick to my stomach at the fact that they're going to probably keep that title on Brock all the way to Mania next year.
Yeah.
Like, honestly sick to my stomach.
Wasn't there a Backlash the last time he had the title? Like, why isn't this being defended?
See, my thing is, when he had the title the last time, for me, it wasn't as bad because both rosters were together, and they had, they had the U.S. title, they had the Intercontinental title, they had the Tag Team title, all those titles together on both shows. With the rosters split, with less championships to go for per roster, it's a lot more glaringly obvious now, and I like it even less than I didn't like it last time. So,
yeah. Well,
it's not good, sir. It's not good.
It's ridiculous that we're going to go over 3 months without it being defended. But we're just pissed in the wind talking about that right now. So, Joe put the Kakita clutch on Rollins and made him pass out. That ended Raw for the evening. Balor talking to Kurt Angle and says, "Make sure you don't leave me out of the main event next week." And Kurt Angle says, "Okay, you got it. Triple threat match. Balor, Wyatt, and Joe next week." And also, Reigns will take on Seth Rollins. So, I think they're doing the best song and dance they can with these 5 guys leading up to Extreme Rules. I'm kind of excited for... I thought the main event was good this week, and then I'm excited for that triple threat next week, and Reigns and Rollins will be good, too. I mean, it's kind of interesting that I think this is the first time these guys are going to fight with Rollins being a face, so I think it'll be an interesting Raw. I think they'll deliver next week going into Extreme Rules, but, I mean, I've been wrong before on their go-home shows, so...
Yep.
205 Live this week. Rich Swann took on Arya Davari, and Swann getting the victory there. Noam Dar showed up as they continue that feud, pushed Swann off the turnbuckle when he was celebrating. So that one will continue to go on. Kicking off 205 Live was a great promo for Brian Kendrick setting up the street fight. I thought that was pretty cool. They did a sit-down via satellite between Neville and Aries. I thought that was a decent sit-down interview. Didn't have any problems with it. Would you automatically put TJP in the next contender for that, or you got any another heel in mind that they should throw in there against Austin Aries?
Well, clearly, if Aries wins the title, the feud with Neville will continue.
Yeah.
After that's done, I don't know what direction they go to. I guess Perkins is an option. They can go with Noam Dar and the no fly zone crap. There's several different choices they could go with. You know, it just all depends on which way they're feeling. I mean, my issue with going to TJP is we've seen so many TJP Aries matches because he's being like Neville's, Robin to his Batman.
Yeah.
So it's just like going right back to TJP is kind of overkill. Like we've already seen it.
Should they turn Aries heel? Like not today, but by SummerSlam?
I wouldn't. Clearly they needed to come up with ideas to make the brand more popular.
Just because he's the star power of the show.
Yeah, I think having the championship on a babyface that's popular to the main portion of your viewing audience is probably a better idea right now if you're trying to get more eyeballs on the product.
Well, you and I both like the roster, but obviously it's not hitting with the casual crowd. Would you bring people over, right? Would you bring people over or just kind of let it grow like they did with NXT?
Dude, they have enough people as it is. They don't need to oversaturate it.
Well, I'm talking about name brand
They need
people.
to work. They need to work with what they have.
Okay.
Like, who are they going to bring over besides Kalisto?
I don't know.
Exactly. They got nobody else of that size.
Enzo.
Right now. God, I've heard that pitch. I'm not a fan.
I think Jericho said it on his show.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of that idea.
One name brand did come back to 205 Live. Welcome back from injury, Cedric Alexander. He took on a guy named Johnny Moon. No word if he's related to Max Moon or not. Quick match. Lumbar check. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back, Cedric. Drew Gulak made a little political statement. I thought that was kind of funny, just because it's Drew Gulak. And then we got the street fight, Kendrick and Tozawa. Matt, what were your thoughts on the street fight?
It was a hard-hitting match. I thought they both worked their asses off. The table bump was insane.
Yeah,
and I think it was finally a fitting end to this rivalry, and both of these guys can go on and do other things now.
I thoroughly enjoyed the rivalry though, but yeah, it was a fitting end. But I really enjoyed it. It was well done. Maybe put Kendrick in against Aries. I think it'd be at least a good feud. Two veterans. Tozawa though, I mean, he deserves a push up there too. There's so many guys there that deserve a push to that top, but only so much room. But good main event in 205 Live. Now let's transition over to SmackDown. Toledo, Ohio is the home for episode number 927. And there's a police escort in the parking lot as the Singh brothers pull out the rug and your new WWE champion Jinder Mahal arrives to the arena. Shane McMahon comes to the ring to kick off SmackDown and says there will be a Money in the Bank ladder match because that's our next pay-per-view. June 18th in St. Louis, Missouri, a hometown of Randy Orton, and coincidentally enough, Randy Orton will be invoking his rematch clause at the pay-per-view against Jinder Mahal.
Because Randy was just too damn lazy to show up on Tuesday.
Yeah. Shane introduces 5 guys that are going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and then Kevin Owens' music hits. And Shane goes, you're not one of the participants, which makes no sense, but it only makes sense in the fact that it's just fun to piss off Kevin Owens. The fifth participant was Shinsuke Nakamura, but Owens said, hey, I won my match at Backlash. He made some good points, obviously. And Shane McMahon said, yeah, you're right. You're in the match. Is this one of the, talent-wise, one of the best Money in the Bank matches ever?
Oh, it's certainly up there. I mean, whether it's going to be one of the best ever, we're going to have to wait and see. So,
I mean, we don't know how Baron Corbin's going to do in the match, but I mean, he's been doing just fine on his own. Not sure if he'll thrive in a match like this. Ziggler, we know will do good. Sami Zayn, AJ Styles. It'll be real interesting to see Nakamura in one of these. It's going to be so much fun to watch this match. So yes, those are your 6 gentlemen. I enjoyed the opening there between all the guys. Apparently they need to buy some new microphones because they were having trouble getting those to work tonight on SmackDown, weren't they?
Hey, the beauty of live TV, my friend. Sometimes these things happen.
It's better than taped with fake crowd noise. So I'll take it. I'll take bad mics here and there any day. Styles called Kevin Owens the WWE's version of Eric Cartman. Thought that was kind of funny. I just was in awe of the fact that AJ Styles is standing next to Shinsuke Nakamura in a WWE ring. Shane sets up a match between Corbin and Zayn, and then also says that Dolph Ziggler will team up with Kevin Owens to face the dream team of all dream teams, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, literally, is there that has got to be one of the best dream team tag matches ever, don't you think? Styles Nakamura.
It is pretty cool.
I mean, that's up there with the Mega Powers, brother.
Okay, now I think you just overstated it.
Yeah, I did. That's what WWE likes to do, though. So hey. Natalya Carmella with Tamina and James Ellsworth took on Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch with Naomi. About an 8-minute tag match there. Kind of not bad. Disarmor on Carmella for the victory for the good girls, because obviously the bad girls have been winning a lot lately. I don't know where they're going with this women's division. Does the WWE know where they're going with this women's division?
I don't know.
Now I think Natalya might be next in line. I don't know, because I mean they made Carmella tap out. Natalya got the win at Backlash, even though Carmella's got a 2 wins over Naomi, but I don't know. Just seems like the women's division was in such good shape before the shakeup, and now it's just kind of like, Does that sound about right, Matt?
It is what it is. Hopefully things get back to the way they were.
Hey, Sami Zayn's on a winning streak, isn't he?
Oh, it's hard to say he's not.
He got the win against Baron Corbin in like a minute, and then Baron Corbin beat the shit out of him. I think we're overdoing the stretchers in the WWE now. Did we really need a stretcher for Sami Zayn here?
Not in my opinion.
Now, we needed a stretcher for Roman Reigns. Yeah. But Sami Zayn, he just got beat down across the arena. I mean, they just wanted to be all sympathetic for him, you know. Nakamura and Styles in the locker room. Styles spoke about how they go way back and have earned each other's respect. Styles said, for the first time ever, Styles and Nakamura are a tag team. Styles said to Nakamura, follow his lead because this is the house that Styles built. And Nakamura said, tonight we're a team, but at Money in the Bank, Nakamura is grabbing the contract and turning his house into the playground. Good stuff between Nakamura and AJ Styles. They teased the final edition of the Fashion Police while the WWE Universe screamed, no! I thought it was just hilarious how they're acting like Shane McMahon's like the police commissioner of the whole group. What'd you think of this week's Fashion Files, Matt?
It was great. Yeah, but all the stuff they've been doing since they've been given the ball has been great.
And they got major props from Xavier Woods on Talking Smack, too, so a nice endorsement. A lot of people are giving Breezango their endorsement for Fashion Files, and that's great. Good thing. Hilarious segment there, though. In the end, Fandango decided to sneak a donut out. Next up was Jinder Mahal's Punjabi celebration. I thought it was pretty cool. Cool visual with the celebration and such. Nothing much out of the ordinary in terms of the promo and stuff like that. Just basically an I told you so, and a lot of you people hate me and all that stuff. So the promo itself, nothing special there, but I thought it was kind of a cool little a visual spectacle for the celebration. Kind of surprised no Randy Orton.
Yeah, to me that didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I guess Orton's pulled off of live events for the next couple of weeks. He must be dealing with something, but they said he's still going to be on television, but so I don't know what they did there. Shane McMahon had set up singles matches with Breezango against the Usos. They both ended very quickly, and that ended up in the Usos saying, let's get it on for the titles. So we got an impromptu Smackdown tag team title match, and for 4 minutes, this was about the coolest 4-minute tag match you're going to ever see. I thought it was very cool. The near falls, I mean, there was one moment I thought Breezango was going to get it, and then when Fandango landed his finisher on Jimmy, but Jay had tagged in with a blind tag and hits the splash right after Fandango hit his finisher. I thought that was a very cool ending. But unfortunately, Breezango comes up short again. The Usos retain. That's because a little team by the name of the New Day is on their way.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised they didn't come out right after the match was over.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that their first appearance on SmackDown was Talking Smack. I thought that was kind of weird. But hey, New Day on Talking Smack, I bet it's going to be a regular thing. Shane McMahon said that the Fashion Police, he's in his office and still had the Fashion Police stuff in there. Natalya shows up asking for a title match. Carmella shows up and says, hey, I want a title match. Becky Lynch says, hey, I want a title match. Tamina says, hey, I want a title match. And Charlotte says, hey, I want a title match. Next week, there'll be a 5-way elimination match. The winner will get a SmackDown Women's title match against Naomi at Money in the Bank. I have a feeling this is going to break down into a no contest to set up a Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm hoping. That's just my hope.
Well, shouldn't you still get a contender for the title and then do a Money in the Bank match?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. My bad.
Damn it, JB.
And then we got the rather lengthy main event. 25 minutes. But I'm not complaining.
As you
AJ Styles. No. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura took on Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. And what were your thoughts on this main event here on SmackDown, Matt?
Well, I thought it was a good match. I don't really know what else to say. It was really good. It was nice to finally see Nakamura on SmackDown. And hopefully, he's more consistently, we'll be seeing him for the weeks and months to come on the main roster.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't see a match that long on TV that often. But it didn't feel like 25 minutes, though. So, good stuff there. Styles and Nakamura celebrated to end the show. And there you have it. Well, not much else going on this week, so it's kind of a short show. God, imagine if we weren't saying fuck that Al, how short the show would be this week.
It is what it is.
Anything new on that front the last hour that we've been talking?
Not that I'm aware of.
Any more contracts being released to the public to see?
I think we're done here, pal.
That's going to do it for Lost in the Midcard this week. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do, make sure that you do a search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically most Thursdays, most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube, and the links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Matt's on there at Raw F Showtime. I'm on there at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into that sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
These every other week pay-per-views are going to be the death of me.
Yeah, and fuck that Al.
Well, we already know that. That goes without saying.
Yeah, it's implied. For Matt Black, Jeremy Bennett here. Have yourselves a good weekend. We'll catch you next week.